So I've got everything in other than the engine and the tank now. Obviously I haven't got the wheels on. I've set all the electronics up, so if I just turn it on a second. There we go. So you can see I've got the forward and reverse servo set, so the EPA is correct, so it's just pushing on the spring a little bit but not too much, because it was really forcing it before and now it's just right, so that's good. Brake wise it seems to be braking pretty well. Hopefully it's not dragging on the brakes when it's in the middle position, but I'll have to set that up obviously once I've got the engine in and the wheels on. And the throttle is going to the stop there but isn't actually hitting it, so we'll see how far that is on the carburetor. But I've got all my endpoints for the forward and reverse and the throttle set up for now. Good enough for now anyway. Unfortunately I've had a slight mishap with the gear cover. You can see the other bits of it are over there. It did snap while I was cleaning it. It is pretty brittle now, so it was only ever held in by one screw up there anyway. But now it's only half a gear cover, so it's kind of pointless. This bottom bit is completely uncovered and these gears are exposed. Not sure what I'm going to do about that. I might make something just to cover around this bottom area, kind of where the bearing carrier goes. Maybe use that to go off just to protect the bottom of those spare gears because they are plastic. Also put a new bolt on the exhaust hanger, and I am also going to put a nut on the back of that as well, because at the moment it's just sticking out, although it's a bit close to that bearing carrier, so I might not be able to put a nut on the back of it. Anyway, we'll see. Just need to connect the steering servo up under there, and then it'll just be the engine to put in. Got the steering servo all set up and back in now. You can see it's a little bit slow. It's a little bit slow to react compared to me turning the wheel, but I've got all the endpoints set correctly and it should have enough torque to turn the wheels. So yeah, working pretty well. So I just got the Mini MGT running there for the first time. Got the engine started up and seems to run alright. Just put the piston back down to bottom, dead centre there. It all seemed to work pretty well really. It ran on fuel. The idle gap is still massive, and that's just the way this linkage is set up underneath here. I've got the new exhaust coupler on here, but unfortunately you can see with the exhaust hanger it's not straight. It's not parallel with the shock towers in a straight line. It's sort of bent towards the back a bit at this end, so this end's firing that way, so it has made a bit of a mess all over the back of the car, as you can probably see there. Still need to get the little extension bit for the exhaust. Also I was just temporarily using a piece of paper for the gasket, which is probably why it wasn't running very well, and you can see it has made a little bit of a mess, and it's probably was leaking a bit on the exhaust there, but it seemed to run alright anyway, even with the throttle. It wasn't very responsive though. The bottom end is very rich, to the point where it's almost stalling itself. So yeah, it seemed to, it does run though, so I guess that's a bonus. I still haven't done all the wheels and tyres and stuff yet, so I need to get that sorted out. And yeah, I just wanted to know if the engine worked really, and all the driveline works. It definitely wasn't going in second gear, but that's not surprising because it wasn't getting the RPMs up. It definitely needs fully tuning really. It's not tuned at all. So yeah, there we go. That was just a quick video of it running anyway. I actually read the manual for this engine, and the low speed needle is there on the end of the carburetor. It's that one right in the middle of the screen. Let me try and point to it without dropping the camera here. It's that one there. It's really far out from flush. Let me just show you and get. So yeah, you can see the screw head sticking out there a little bit. So that needs winding in. And unfortunately with the engine in the truck, it's almost impossible to get to. So that is a bit of a pain. But it definitely needs richening on the bottom end. You can see how much fuel is pulled up there. This is after a wipe to load off as well. And you can see maybe there, or not, how much is in the exhaust. It's literally like dripping. So it's also spattered all over here, but I think that's from the paper exhaust gasket that I made. I have ordered a new gasket. I have ordered a little silicone thing to go on here, shoot out the back, and I'm going to bend this exhaust hanger down here so it's sort that out, so that the exhaust is in line with the rear shock tower basically. I also think I'm going to change the steering servo, even though I haven't used it yet, because it is so slow to respond. It's actually insane. I'm just going to change it out for one of the servos that I have already for now. Maybe like a Savox or something, we'll see. But it is insanely slow. Like, I turn the wheels and it's like using one of those when you see people using the Spectrum STX2 remotes. It like takes half an hour before it actually starts turning the wheels, and going backwards and forwards it'll like turn one way and then just stop, and then instead of going the other way it'll carry on turning. That's how slow it is, because it's so slow to respond. These servos are actually faster, which is pretty ironic, and this is like an £18 servo. So yeah, it's pretty terrible, but yeah, like I say, I can swap it out pretty easily, so it doesn't really matter.